So North Wilkesboro Speedway is getting a points race back in the NASCAR Cup Series for the first time since 1996, which is exciting.
Welcome back, my friends.
That's right, an announcement of this was initially made back in August in 2025. The last time the Cup Series had a points race at North Wilkesboro was in 1996, but on September 29th specifically. Drivers such as Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd, Darrell Waltrip, Mark Morton, and Rusty Wallace were big-time names, and the race was memorable, and Gordon got the win in a Tyson Holly Farms 400 that day. The names have changed to Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Denny Hamlin. They'll be racing for points on July 19, 2026, now this year, and the race will be called the Window World 450. The race will occur 30 years after the last points race in 96. North Wilkesboro's 5/8 mile oval will come to life with a 450-lap Sunday night race. As one of NASCAR's original tracks, North Wilkesboro successfully hosted the last three All-Star races, which will now take place at Dover Motor Speedway instead. The most recent All-Star race in Wilkes County had an unforgettable battle between Joey Logano and eventual race winner Christopher Bell. That race allowed for the track's next big event to have championship points on the line. Here's Speedway Motorsports President and CEO Marcus Smith talking about the All-Star race last year in 2025, as well as the points race coming up and more. This year reminded everyone how great the action is at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Said Smith, "It's a challenge for the drivers and the teams to master this short track, and because of that, you don't know who's going to win until the checkered flag flies." The NASCAR Chrysler Truck Series, which debuted at North Wilkesboro in 1995 and returned there in 2023, will be back again in 2026 for a 250-lap race on Saturday, July 18th. The ZMAX Cars Tour Late Model Series will also be a part of the weekend on Friday, July 17th, as part of a doubleheader that night. Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer and North Wilkesboro Speedway Chairman of the Board, Dale Earnhardt Jr., talking about the Cup Series getting a points race back at North Wilkesboro and more. "You know I'm a big believer of the value of short track racing and its history in our sport, so to me, this is the biggest news on the 2026 schedule," said Jr. "When I was preparing North Wilkesboro with Marcus Smith in 2019 for an iRacing scan, I felt like I was working inside an iconic time capsule. Now the track is more amazing than ever, born again after a lot of dedication and hard work. I can't wait to see 400 laps of night racing there. It's massive for the surrounding community, but every fan of NASCAR is going to feel like a winner next July. However, 400 laps will no longer be the case, as the race was originally supposed to be that long, but was extended 50 more laps in a December announcement." Here's North Wilkesboro Speedway Executive Director Greg Hoffman talking about the decision to make this change and more. "North Wilkesboro Speedway is all about the fans, and adding more laps per dollar to the Window World 450 is sure to create a better experience for everyone who enters the gates," Hoffman said. "With Window World being the title sponsor of the 450-lap race, that continues a relationship that started with his home track in 2022. Here's Tammy Whitworth, who is the CEO of Window World, talking about the partnership with North Wilkesboro Speedway and more. "As a North Wilkesboro-based company, and knowing what it means to this community, it's been a true honor and privilege for us to be a partner with North Wilkesboro Speedway throughout their rebirth," said Whitworth. Here's more from Whitworth. "Sponsoring a points race and a NASCAR Cup Series gives us a chance to bring an even greater spotlight on this region and all the good things that happen here," she said. "Through our national network of partners and employees, we'll do our part to bring positive attention to Wilkes County and the North Carolina mountains next summer." Several Cup Series drivers participated in a test at North Wilkesboro in January of this year to showcase the 750 horsepower package that'll be used for almost 20 races throughout 2026. That package will be used on certain short tracks and road courses this year. The drivers that participated in the test at the 0.625 mile short track were Chris Buescher, Josh Berry, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Eric Jones. The specifics of the Window World 450 on July 19th is that coverage will begin at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, with coverage being on TNT, PRN, Sirius XM, and HBO Max. This is exciting that North Wilkesboro Speedway is getting a points cup race back, like I said. Even though it had already been announced, I still wanted to talk about it because of the fact it's such a big deal. But yeah, what an incredible journey for that track to be able to have a points cup race again, especially because of the fact that it's been since 1996. The last time a Cup Series race was held for points there in Wilkes County. So definitely what a journey it's been because of the fact that after what happened in 96, which Jeff Gordon won that race, like I said, it didn't look like there would be any more racing. The track was abandoned and all that, even though it did have a brief revival in 2010. But still, what an incredible story that has been able to get to this point, especially because of the fact that it looked like the only thing it would have was that iRacing scandal that Dale Jr. had in 2019 with the team at iRacing. And it didn't look like anything else would happen because of the fact that the track was pretty much lost and all that. And they cleaned up the surface to be sure that it would be preserved for years to come, which happened like that as well. But what happened was, with the American Rescue Plan from COVID-19, $18 million was added to that track by then North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper in 2021 for the relief of COVID-19 and all that. And that allowed the track to be able to have repairs and all that. And in 2022, racing went back to North Wilkesboro with late models and all that. And then in 2023, NASCAR made its return, with the All-Star race being there for the Cup Series. And the Chrysler Truck Series made its return in the points pay race that year as well. So definitely it's pretty cool now that the Cup Series will be having points there, especially because of the fact that it's not the same when it's the All-Star race, even though it was cool when it was the All-Star race. But eventually it just got old, even though now with points, definitely it'll be much more exciting. Definitely it has an opportunity for this track to be one of the crown jewels of NASCAR, especially now with the new playoff format coming back to the chase there, especially now this race will be a win and you're in situation. So I'm happy that the race will get its focus and the drivers will be able to enjoy the race and all that and focus on trying to get wins and points and all that, especially. So definitely no win and you're in situation is a good thing, especially. So that way this race will get the much deserved attention that it gets because of the fact that Jeff Gordon has been the defending winner since 1996. And when this race comes in July, he will no longer be that once the race is over. So definitely it'll be pretty cool to be able to see this race and all that. Definitely looking forward to it. I've done a number of videos on North Wilkesboro over the years, such as the announcement of it coming back to NASCAR, which I said was a great idea in that video, as well as when I did the Chrysler Truck Series points races and the Burst 2 All-Star races. I'll leave all of those videos down in the description. But obviously now with the points race being in the Cup Series, the Chrysler Truck Series will be back there as well. The points Cup race will take priority because of the fact that it's a bigger deal and all that. And I expect this race to be sold out because of the fact that it's such a highly anticipated event. Definitely a pretty incredible season it's going to be for the Cup Series there, especially obviously with the Cup Series racing for the first time in the streets of San Diego. Obviously that's going to be a highly anticipated event as well. Obviously the Daytona 500, that's a race I look forward to every year as well. So, but as far as the new events are concerned, this race at North Wilkesboro and the San Diego Street Race in the Coronado Naval Base are the two most highly anticipated races of the year, in my opinion. Obviously the Cup Series will be going back to Chicagoland Speedway as well, but this one, in my opinion, is definitely the most anticipated one out of all of those. So definitely it's a pretty cool story that the Cup Series will have a points race there, like I said, and hopefully this will be a long-term thing. So definitely that'll be pretty cool there, especially. So good luck to everybody there at North Wilkesboro and a team at SMI, Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, and all that. So definitely it'll be a pretty incredible show. It's also pretty cool that North Wilkesboro got to be in a video game with NASCAR 25. So definitely pretty cool that you get to drive in that track in that game as well. So because of the fact that when North Wilkesboro wasn't in NASCAR for so many years, it didn't appear in any video games because of the fact that it was closed. So definitely it was pretty cool that it got to appear in that video game as well. So definitely it's going to be an awesome event, and I definitely look forward to seeing how it turns out as well. So, and plus the race will be at night, which is more exciting because of the fact that night racing is more better to watch in my opinion as well. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you are brand new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.